Samsung just announced 5 new devices: the Z Fold8 Ultra, the Z Fold8, the Z Flip 8, Watch Ultra 2, and Watch 9. Normally, you would expect that the device with Ultra in its name would be the major talking point, but this time I think the Galaxy Z Fold8 might be Samsung's most interesting announcement because of that new form factor they've been teasing. I spent some time with the entire lineup, but the one that intrigues me the most is the Fold8, or as some people would prefer to call it, the Z Fold8 or Z Fold8 Wide. The new Z Fold8 is shorter, wider, and is shaped more like a passport, giving us a more conventional display on the outside while still opening into a much larger screen. The Fold8 has a starting price of $18.99 US. You get it with 12 gigs of RAM and storage options up to 1 terabyte. Pre-orders start today and availability from August 7. The color options for the Fold8 are lavender, graphite, cream, and an online-only pistachio color. Before this launch, we saw a lot of leaks on what the Fold8 might look like. Now, holding it in my hands, it reminded me a lot of the Microsoft Surface Duo. And fun fact, the Z Fold8 is smaller than that device. As a matter of fact, Samsung is calling it the lightest foldable yet, weighing just 201 grams. The cover display is 5.5 inches and it unfolds to a 7.6 inches wide internal display. When unfolded, the Z Fold8 is 4.5 millimeters thin. The Fold8 Ultra is still the thinnest at 4.1 millimeters. In landscape mode, it has a 4:3 aspect ratio, and in portrait, it has a 3:4 aspect ratio. Samsung has improved the internal display. It has higher resolution, also gets 3000 nits of peak brightness, and also they've used the new Flex titanium tech, which improves the crease significantly. Now, the crease is not 100% gone. It's still there if you're looking for it, but it's much better than what we had on previous generations. The Flex titanium has 2 layers, a titanium alloy film and a titanium plate that supports the display to significantly reduce the crease. And one thing that has changed with the Fold8 and Fold8 Ultra, with the new hinge design, you no longer have the same type of flex mode as we have on previous generations. It no longer stays at just any angle. This is the Fold6, by the way. Although I did notice that if you've had the display open in flex mode for a while, so the angle it allows, after some time you are able to have it flex to angles it previously did not allow. But if you've had the device fully unfolded, you'll probably not be able to get those flex angles. This might not necessarily be a problem, especially if you don't really rely on flex mode, but it's something we're going to have to get used to. I guess it's a trade-off that comes with the new display tech. They have also improved the display in terms of the reflections. It now has an anti-reflective display which reduces reflections by up to 50%. We're still getting dynamic AMOLED with a 120Hz adaptive refresh rate. If you're a big fan of the S Pen and you've been looking forward to having it back, Samsung sadly did not bring it back with the Fold8 nor with the Fold8 Ultra. So if you still want a foldable with an S Pen, you have to stick with the Fold6 and below, or you buy a Fold8 and you buy a Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. That's no fun for those of us that fancy the S Pen. It's the reason I still have my Z Fold6, and it looks like I will still be holding on to this, even if I'm going to definitely be getting the Z Fold8. Now, you might be wondering why Samsung is switching to this form factor as opposed to what they were previously doing. Some might say it's because of the Apple Fold, but I don't think that's the case. Besides, Apple has not released theirs yet, so that's technically still a rumor. Now, this passport shape is not entirely new. We've seen it with Microsoft Surface Duo, we've seen it with the Google Pixel and other foldable manufacturers. But this is definitely the smallest and lightest. Apps run and feel just fine on the cover display, and it doesn't feel awkward to type on. It feels comfortable to use one-handed, and typing with both hands fits just fine. Now, one of the problems this aims to solve is the fact that with the current existing foldables, the aspect ratio does not exactly give you something wide enough. It's usually almost squarish, and you could say it's not exactly content friendly. Samsung is calling this a content native form factor, thanks to the fact that it is now more landscape. And then when you are consuming media, say you're watching videos, the black bars are not going to be as huge as we had it with previous foldables or the Fold8 Ultra. Plus, a proper landscape display is more content friendly and also more multitasking friendly. Since it's now shorter and wider, it behaves more like a regular smartphone when closed and a compact tablet when opened. On build quality, we have Corning Gorilla Glass Ceramic 3 on the cover display, and on the rear we have Victus 2. The frame is advanced armor aluminum. The ingress protection is IP48. Samsung has some interesting official case options which we're definitely going to see in the coming days. The new foldables, including the Z Fold8, is running on Samsung's latest One UI 9 and Android 17. There's a couple of software improvements and of course plenty to do with Galaxy AI. The processor on the Z Fold8 is the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy. That is the same processor on the Fold8 Ultra and the Flip 8 for all regions. There is no Exynos version. Now, when you compare it to the Z Fold8 Ultra, that one is the direct successor to the Z Fold7, and it has the form factor we're used to. It also has a slightly bigger battery and better camera specifications. Speaking of cameras, the Z Fold8 has a dual 50 megapixel setup comprising of a main and an ultra wide. There is no telephoto camera. On the selfie camera, we have 10 megapixels both on the cover display and on the internal display. Definitely when I get my own device, I'm going to be testing the cameras properly to see how much you can accomplish with just a main and ultra wide camera. The cameras are positioned horizontally with a slight bump which still wobbles when placed on a flat surface. For its battery, we get 4800 mAh. It supports 45 watts super fast charging. Now, seeing that the Z Fold8 has bigger battery when compared to the previous generation, and then it's a smaller device, we should probably expect impressive battery life, but then that's something we can't actually confirm from first impressions. When I get one, I'm definitely going to see how well the battery would last. Now, compared to the Z Fold8 Ultra, I like this form factor better. I like the fact that it's smaller, and I also like the fact that you get a more natural tablet style when unfolded. Now, while this is a new form factor, it doesn't feel rushed or experimental. It will be interesting to see how this holds up over time. I feel like depending on how the Z Fold8 performs in sales, Samsung is probably going to double down on this form factor, and who knows, probably phase out the Flip. Do you think that would happen? As for me, while I still miss the S Pen, I will be upgrading from my Fold 6 to the Z Fold8. Do you prefer this form factor, or you'll be sticking with the more ultra phone? Do not forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and also turn on post notifications so you don't miss out when I cover the other devices and also when I do a proper review of the Z Fold8.